street with a gunshot wound. Now police are trying to piece together the pieces, what they know so far, and we have an update on the man's condition.
And it's no secret that gas prices continue to skyrocket. Coming up, we'll tell you about some of the price comparisons in San Antonio and also give you an update on how to stretch your gas dollar.
Plus, a father does the unthinkable while trying to escape a burning apartment. He tosses his son out of the window before jumping out of the second-story window himself. Full details ahead in your morning headlines.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you. It is Tuesday. It is March 8th. I just stepped outside a minute ago and it feels colder and more damp than it did when we walked in the door at dark 30 this morning.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit, or maybe because you weren't as rushed, maybe.
I think it was the sprinkles. They seem a little more significant now as we go outside with live cam, and Sarah Spivey is in for Justin Horn. What say you, Miss Spivey?
You're right, Mark. Sprinkles have picked up a little bit around San Antonio, but unfortunately, it is unimportant rain. It is not amounting to anything. At the airport, we're not seeing any kind of accumulation. But I do want to show you what it looks like right now outside. If you haven't had an opportunity to step out there, it is cloudy and it is cold outside right now. The airport is measuring a little bit of light rain in the form of sprinkles. We've got winds from the north at about 10 miles per hour, and it feels like it's 39 degrees outside, and temperatures are starting to really even go down a little bit as we see some light sprinkles out there. Look at the radar. You can see those sprinkles here as we zoom in, but out to the east, that's where we've seen more significant rainfall this morning. Even a few thunderstorms for Hallettsville, Gonzales, Luling, and as we zoom into Bexar County, just some light sprinkles and some light rain showers as they push up north into Schertz, New Braunfels. And we're going to continue to see the light rainfall out there for many of us through about noon, but again, not amounting to anything. In the pollen count today, we've got 7 allergens out there right now, but thankfully everything is low. You can really tell that the trees are pollinating. Elm, oak, pine, juniper, mulberry, ash, all low. Molds are low too at 220. So what's up with the weather? What do you need to know? Another chilly day today with plenty of cloud cover, but we're going to be looking at a warm up tomorrow and Thursday. A lot nicer, more spring-like for those enjoying spring break this week. But the twist is a stronger cold front is going to arrive on Friday. That'll even bring a late season freeze for us over the weekend. So we've got a lot to unpack. I'll have a look at the forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Sarah.
Let's look at today's 9 at 9.
Safe corridors intended to allow civilians to escape war-torn Ukraine have opened this morning. The move is being met with skepticism by Ukraine since similar plans have failed over the last several days. Russia's Coordination Center for Humanitarian Efforts in Ukraine called for another ceasefire early this morning. More than 1.7 million people have fled Ukraine since the start of the war, and many more are still trying to leave.
After days of dramatically rising gas prices, the national average per gallon is now the highest in American history, breaking the record that stood for nearly 14 years. As of this morning, the cost of regular gasoline is $4.17, up from $4.06 this same time yesterday. Analysts say Russia's role in the attack on Ukraine is driving the rising prices since Russia is the second largest producer of oil behind the U.S.
Major League Baseball giving the Players Union a new deadline to reach a deal. The union has until tonight to accept one of the offers on the table. If the two reach an agreement, it would reinstate the 162-game season. If no deal is reached by tonight or early Wednesday, MLB officials say another week of regular season games would be canceled, with players forfeiting pay.
President Joe Biden will visit Texas this morning to tackle a personal issue, expanding health care for veterans who were exposed to toxins while serving abroad. Biden will visit a Veterans Affairs clinic in Fort Worth, where he will deliver remarks on the health effects of exposure to burn pits or open-air ditches used to dispose of wartime waste. The president has linked these burn pits to the death of his son, Bo, who died of brain cancer in 2015.
Authorities in Florida say wildfires have scorched thousands of acres in the Panhandle part of the state. As of last night, over 14,000 acres has been scorched. The largest fire is only 10% contained. Evacuation orders are still in effect for some areas.
The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected a bid to reopen Bill Cosby's sexual assault prosecution. The court on Monday left in place an opinion by Pennsylvania's highest court that overturned Cosby's sexual assault conviction. Cosby was convicted in 2018 for drugging and sexually assaulting a woman in his home in 2004 and was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. He was released from prison in June of 2021 after the state Supreme Court overturned his conviction, ruling his due process rights were violated.
It's been nearly 2 years since the pandemic shuttered the Capitol building to the public, but lawmakers are considering reopening the halls to the public. The consideration comes as mask mandates lift in Washington, D.C. and around the country. Officials say more details could come later this week.
International Women's Day is observed today, celebrating the global, social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day also calls for action to expand gender equality. This year's theme is #BreakTheBias, spotlighting the individual and collective biases against women. The campaign asks people to post selfies with their arms crossed to show support of women.
The maker of Stolichnaya vodka says the liquor will now be sold and marketed simply as Stoli. The founder says he wants to get rid of Russian ties due to the ongoing conflict with Ukraine and after being exiled from Russia in 2000 for his opposition to Vladimir Putin. A number of U.S. liquor stores have stopped selling Russian-made alcohol in protest of Russia's attack on Ukraine. And that's today's 9 at 9. And breaking since our early newscast today, President Joe Biden is reporting ready to ban all imports of Russian oil and natural gas. More details on that in just a moment. But this comes as the nation reports the highest gas prices in history. And people here at home are also feeling the impact.
RJ Marcus breaks down some of the latest prices we're seeing and some ways you can save.
People hitting the roads across San Antonio this morning have no doubt noticed an increase in gas prices. Those prices continue to skyrocket, and this morning AAA reports that the average price for a regular gallon of gas in the San Antonio area is now $3.75. A month ago, drivers were paying $3 a gallon for gas here in San Antonio. At this quick trip in downtown, the price for regular gas was $3.69, but across the street, the Valero was 10 cents more as people filled up. San Antonio is still on the lower end compared to other Texas cities. The state average is $3.85, and some counties out west have already seen prices reach nearly $4 a gallon. Many parts across the country have already topped those prices. AAA reports the national average is $4.17. That breaks the previous record of $4.11 a gallon that has stood since July of 2008. But there are some ways that you can save and stretch your dollar. The wholesale stores like Walmart and Sam's Club and grocery stores offer discounted gas. You can also sign up for loyalty programs for discounts. And keep in mind that AAA and GasBuddy.com also have apps to help you find the lowest gas prices, and you can also save 5 to 10 cents a gallon when you pay in cash. Reporting from downtown, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Top stories we're following today. Police are trying to piece together an overnight shooting that happened in the downtown area.
It happened this morning just after 2:30 on Avenue E near East Houston Street and the Alamo. Right now, investigators do not have much to go on, but we are told the victim is a man in his 20s and he was found in the middle of the street with a gunshot wound in his back.
He was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. So far, no suspects are in custody.
And police are still looking for a person who shot at a couple of teens, hitting one of them.
It happened on the city's south side on Pleasanton near Formosa. Officers say the victims were walking with someone in a dark truck, drove by and fired a single shot, hitting a 16-year-old boy in the groin.
They were able to get help at a nearby grocery store, but the suspect took off.
A man's in the hospital fighting for his life after an overnight crash up on the far northwest side.
It happened around 2:15 this morning at I-10 in La Cantera. That's where police say the driver crashed his pickup truck into a pillar.
He was taken to the hospital with a head injury. At this time, it's unclear what caused that driver to crash. Monday morning headlines: a terrifying fire at an apartment complex ends with first responders and a father saving a 3-year-old.
In the bizarre moment, a discovery of a box of human heads. Max Massey joins us live in the studio. And Max, before we get to the stories, big news when it comes to oil this morning.
That's right. You guys kind of touched on it. RJ definitely touched on it. Something we've been anticipating for a bit now. Reports coming out this morning: a United States ban on Russian oil. So at last check this morning, crude oil at $125 About a 5% bump this morning, and some of the highest numbers we saw since May of 2008. The Associated Press reporting President Joe Biden deciding to ban Russian oil imports, toughening the toll on Russia's economy. All of this, remember, in retaliation for the invasion of Ukraine. Now, the move follows pleas by the Ukraine's president, Vladimir Zelensky, and those pleas are to the United States and Western officials cutting off oil imports. It's been a glaring omission in the massive sanctions put in place on Russia over the invasion. Now, energy exports have really kept a steady influx of cash to Russia, despite otherwise severe restrictions on its finances. And on top of the U.S. government, more and more private companies are joining in as well. Energy giant Shell now saying they will stop buying Russian oil and natural gas. They're going to shut down their service stations, aviation fuels, and other operations in Russia. Shell saying in a statement that they would withdraw from all Russian hydrocarbons, including crude oil, petroleum products, natural gas, and liquefied natural gas in a phased manner. All right, up next, it was more so stolen than a discovery, and it's human heads. Yes, you heard me right. So we're going to start here. A box containing human heads was stolen from a parked freight company truck in Denver. The box was being transported for medical research purposes, and Denver police are still investigating after someone broke into the truck while it was parked at Denver's Central Park. Now, this all happened Thursday morning. The theft clearly has a lot of neighbors more and more confused.
You never know what those heads were going to be used for one. And for two, what are you going to do with them now that you found them?
That is a phenomenal question. So far, at last check, no arrests have been made. The theft comes just days after the Denver Police Department warned on their Facebook that vehicle-related crimes such as auto theft and theft from motor vehicles continue to be a problem in their area. All right, next up, a father doing everything he can to save his toddler when their New Jersey apartment building caught fire just yesterday, even went as far as to drop the 3-year-old son out the window and into the arms of waiting first responders. Just heart-pounding moments showing the frantic first responders with their arms outstretched, rescuing the 3-year-old boy and his father from this raging apartment fire, tossing the terrified child out, and then the father diving headfirst out from the second floor. Detective on the scene, one of 3 South Brunswick police officers, along with Kendall Park's fire chief. They ran over and they caught the father and the son.
You see a child, I think it just cranks up the adrenaline. It's emotional, kid, he's obviously terrified.
All right, toddler, it was okay. And just a few moments ago, we saw him on the screen. He was being comforted by a big teddy bear. The responding officers say, this is what we signed up for. This is the exciting part of the job. You want to be able to help people and do the right thing. There he is right there. He's happy, he's jumping around, and he is safe. All right, guys, you know the phrase, no good deed goes unpunished. Well, all of these firefighters that you're going to see in this park in Indianapolis, they learned this firsthand. So if you look closely, well, you don't have to look that close. There is a 17-year-old in that tree, and all of this happened because Owen, the 17-year-old, climbed up the tree, 35 feet up the tree, to rescue a cat. He had no trouble getting up there, but getting down was another story. Now, firefighters showed up first. They had to call in the rope rescue team, who then called the tactical team. It took about an hour to get the kid down. Other than a few scrapes, Owen, the 17-year-old, is just fine. And of course, the cat, reacting in the most cat-like way possible, made no effort climbing down the tree, actually seemed to enjoy all of the commotion. See, guys, This is why I'm a dog person.
I get it.
I mean, very rarely are you there's no expression like, you gotta save the dog from the tree. It's always a cat.
The cat was like, hey, what are you doing up here, man?
He made some friends.
Yes, he did. Oh, my goodness.
Quiet time.
All right. Max Massey, thank you.
Thank you.
Quick programming. We're expected to hear from President Biden sometime this morning. If that happens during this newscast, we will break away live.
For now, it's 9/11 and 44 degrees out there.
Still ahead on GMSA, you probably hear and see helicopters flying around San Antonio every day, and some of which are carrying critically injured hospital patients. We're going to take you inside an AirLife chopper for a look at the day in the life of an AirLife nurse. Very interesting.
Also coming up, why some states are opening investigations into the mental impact TikTok is having on children. Details parents should know.
Welcome back. Just about 9:16.
And still 44 degrees.
Yeah, and unimportant rain out there today.
Unimportant.
I hate calling it unimportant because it feels like I'm not validating the rain, but in reality,
we get it.
Substantial enough.
Yeah, it's not substantial enough to help us out with the drought. And even the areas that we have seen thunderstorms this morning east of I-35, they're in good shape. They're not in drought conditions. It's folks out west that could really use some rain. So let's take a look at the live radar right now. Some very fine mist and sprinkles. Just so that we could see this very fine light rain. And as you can see, it's moving to the north and to the east through Seguin, through New Braunfels, through Bulverde and Canyon Lake, and even through Floresville and Poth. In a wider view here, you can see that there's a little bit more substantial activity off to the east, toward Gonzales, toward Hallettsville, toward LaGrange, toward Brenham, Bryan College Station area. And earlier this morning, we did have a couple of thunderstorms work their way through Floresville, Gonzales, Hallettsville. Here's a look at that 12-hour rainfall, and you can see that near Hallettsville, almost a whole inch of rain has fallen. Near Gonzales, half an inch, and in Wilson County, in northeastern Wilson County, more than a half an inch of rain has fallen. And around San Antonio, only amounting to maybe 1/100 of an inch of rain in some places. So again, we've got that light mist, those light sprinkles out there, just making things cold and slightly damp this morning. Out at the airport actually recorded some of that light rain, so you can see the light rain icon here ongoing, but nothing has fallen into the rain gauge, just trace amount of rainfall. 44 degrees, winds from the north, so it feels like it's 39. It is cold out there this morning, and I'm showing you the satellite and temperatures. It's 39 at Bernie Stage Airfield, 42 in New Braunfels, 43 at JBSA Randolph, 44 in 47 in Hondo, and again, completely cloudy. A wider view here, and you can see that there is a clearing line out in Valverde County. It's 51 degrees in Del Rio. In Del Rio, you're going to see sun here within the next couple of hours, and that clearing line is going to try to make it to San Antonio today. It's going to struggle to do so, but it's going to try. I'm rooting for it. All right, on the Futurecast, as you can see, just a few sprinkles around San Antonio through about lunch, and then all of that will move off to the east. There's that clearing line that I mentioned. You can see that this afternoon it's going to be sunny in Uvalde, sunny in Lakey, sunny in Bandera, and sunny in Kerrville. And we're going to try to see some sunshine before the sun sets, a lot like what we did yesterday. But if you live east of San Antonio, stuck in the clouds all day long. Take a look at high temperatures where there is going to be some sun, like out toward Del Rio. It's going to be close to 70 degrees today. Even in Kerrville, warmer than San Antonio, 57 for the high. Around San Antonio, near 50 degrees is a good bet. So it's going to be chilly all day long. We're going to try to squeeze out some sunshine at 5 p.m. before the sun sets. But again, highs only near 52 in San Antonio with northeast winds breezy at 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's going to be chilly tonight with temperatures in the 40s. Let's take a look at the wide view here. You can see that East Texas is getting some very good soaking rains, and even up in North Texas seeing a little bit of a changeover to a light wintry mix. A wider view, when you look at the temperatures, a lot of the country is experiencing a March freeze and a late season cold snap here. And you can actually see very dense cold Arctic air building across Canada. Temperatures are well below zero up in northern Canada, and this is going to be the source of our cold air that is expected to arrive on Friday. So we're not done with the cold yet, but we will get a couple of nice days mixed in there, including tomorrow. Tomorrow the sun's going to come out, and it's going to be pretty pleasant in the afternoon, 64 degrees for the high temperature tomorrow. By Thursday, we'll be looking at highs in the mid-70s. So Thursday is going to be a great day too. If you're enjoying spring break and want to enjoy some time outdoors, Wednesday and Thursday are going to be your days. But look at that cold front. That cold front will be moving through on Friday morning, and it's going to drop temperatures into the 40s, and winds will be gusting from the north up to 40 miles per hour. So it's going to feel like it's in the 20s and 30s on Friday. Very, very cold on Friday. And in fact, by Saturday and Sunday mornings, we're going to have some late season freezes there in the morning hours. At least it'll be sunny in the afternoon Saturday and Sunday, but still, a lot of people have been doing some gardening already. because our average last freeze is late February, but this is a late freeze for us. So take some precautions, cover up those plants if you can by Saturday and Sunday morning for that light freeze.
Yeah, poor plants.
I know.
Thank you, Sarah.
A group of attorneys general in several states across the country have opened an investigation of whether the video sharing platform TikTok is harmful for children.
An investigation last year looked into Instagram for similar concerns. Mandy Gaither has more on the concerns and what parents need to know to keep kids safe.
Social media in the spotlight once again. An investigation into TikTok follows a similar one launched in November by a group of state attorneys general and whether these platforms are harmful to children.
It's really a wake-up call, the power of social media on such a young population.
Dr. Mohammed Al-Dasari, director of the Center for Pediatric Neurosciences at Cleveland Clinic, says social media can affect children's mental health and may even cause or worsen stress and anxiety.
These young minds are very suggestible. They're very vulnerable to these exposures.
Al-Dasari says parents and kids need to be aware of potential dangers. If a child is already suffering from a mental health issue like depression or anxiety, there's a higher risk of adverse effects of social media. Consider limiting exposure, and parents should talk to kids about what they're seeing online.
I think it's something that we really have to address for the well-being and the safety of the young generation.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Time now is 9:22, about 44 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA at 9, thousands of Ukrainians trying to find a safe space this morning. We're going to take you on the ground for a look at what they are faced with as they try to escape the terror. Welcome back. It's 9:25. Now the battle for Ukraine. Civilians desperate to flee the violence with hundreds killed and hundreds more injured.
Nearly 2 million refugees have now crossed the border, almost half of them children. ABC's Marcus Moore has the latest.
The mass exodus from Ukraine entering a new day. Now more than 2 million people, half of them children, enduring the arduous journey into the unknown.
You cannot plan nothing. It's like you have no plans, you have no home, you have no nothing, no work, no projects. I'm alive, I'm safe, and this is enough for now.
Diana Berg is now in central Ukraine after leaving Mariupol to escape the vicious bombings and rocket attacks that have so far claimed scores of lives. The city with no power, water, or heat.
People were trying to gather water from the pipes or from puddles. How under the heavy, brutal, constant, non-stop shelling,
many of those fleeing ending up in the border city of Lviv. Our Matt Gutman is there.
The mayor of Lviv says that 50,000 new refugees turn up here every single day. They file off the platform, stand in line here for 5 to 10 hours. That's before getting inside. And we're told that they're now starting to arrive from the most war-ravaged cities. These are among the most desperate.
American citizen Tatiana Shatokina has finally made it to a hotel in Lviv after finding herself trapped alongside her daughter and grandson in Kharkiv, as the second largest city in Ukraine was bombarded by Russian strikes.
They were sleeping on the floor next to the wall, underneath of the table. They only hear the noises like boom, boom, boom. Airplanes just flying over their heads, and the houses was shaking. They were extremely, extremely scared.
The lucky ones crossing the border, many ending up in Poland. This cultural center in Przemysl turning into a temporary shelter for some of those families. As innocent laughter from kids fills this room, the weight of what's happening is clear on the adults' faces.
Are you ready?
Some families eventually making their way on to countries across Europe. Marcus Moore, ABC News, Przemysl, Poland.
Right now it's 9:27, 44 degrees.
A lot more ahead on GMSA at 9. A look at some ways you can help the situation in Ukraine.
But first, we take to the air with a look at the day in the life of an air life nurse in the skies over San Antonio and our surrounding area.
And welcome back. It's 9:31. They are heroes in the sky. San Antonio Air Life has provided life-saving care from up above for 30 years now.
But the pandemic has changed their operations. KSAT's Lee Waldman takes us up on the helipad where crews are ready for whatever comes their way.
Looking inside, you wouldn't know it, but this is one of the larger helicopters in San Antonio Air Life's fleet.
It was not made for me. No, but you get used to it.
The Airbus UC-145 is special.
When it's foggy or overcast, There are only 2 aircraft south of Austin to service the entire, basically, south end of the state.
So is the crew that flies in it.
And we can do just about anything in the back of this helicopter that you could do in an ER or an ICU.
Michael Wynn and David Renteria man the back of the unit, the medical side.
I've been a huge Superman fan my entire life, and flying and saving people, I was like, oh, how can I do that?
10 years Renteria has been a nurse, the last 7 as a flight nurse. He still remembers his first takeoff.
We did what needed to be done, got an IV right away, got him on the monitor, got him on our stretcher, got him here, another 4-minute flight back, and it was just an amazing feeling.
Adrian Mansfield is the pilot.
We are trained to not think about that too much, because depending on what's going on outside the helicopter, you have to make the same decision. It shouldn't make any difference who or what is in the back.
It's hard to say what an average day is. Things can change from 1 hour to the next.
We're always ready for any call that does come about, and we're always motivated, and whenever they need us.
And wherever. Between their 4 bases, this one at University Hospital, Kerrville, Pleasanton, and Uvalde, their pilots, nurses, and medics cover 22 counties, stretching as far as the border.
Access to health care, especially for rural communities, has been really necessary during this whole pandemic.
We're used to seeing air life at traumatic scenes, but 80% of flights are transferring a patient who needs more critical care.
There have been a lot more people that needed to be transferred to larger facilities and into cities. So it's been a busy couple of years.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
44 degrees out there.
Yeah, it's still chilly out there, Sarah. Very cold for our spring break viewers.
Yeah, and even some mist out there too this morning. Now let's take a quick check of the aquifer level. It is up half a foot over the past 24 hours, but look at that level, 658.5 feet above sea level. That is below 660 feet, and 660 feet, that's the threshold. When the 10-day average falls below 660 feet, that's when we have to start thinking about stage 1 water restrictions. The 10-day average, slightly above that for now, but we'll continue to keep you updated. So there are 7 allergens in the pollen count today. Molds, elm, oak, pine, juniper, mulberry, and ash. You can really tell that the trees are pollinating, but thankfully every single allergen is low. But let's get to the forecast. Let's show you outside right now. Cloudy and cold. Temperatures have fallen into the low 40s. It's 44 degrees at the airport. Winds from the north at about 10 miles per hour, so it feels like it's 39 degrees. And yes, the airport is measuring some very, very fine mist and sprinkles out there this morning. We are not anticipating anything in the way of accumulation from this. It's just making it a touch damp out there. Slightly more rainfall out near Gonzales. So today we are going to see mainly gray skies and temperatures struggling to get above 50 degrees. We'll likely get to near 52 with some clearing in the afternoon. We're going to see a clearing line from west to east today, but all in all, a chilly day, north winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. If you're hoping for a little sun, a little bit of warmth, Wednesday and especially Thursday are your days, but temperatures are going to tumble again by Friday, a strong cold front. So a lot to unpack in the forecast. Those details coming up in a bit. Mark, Steph.
Thank you, Sarah. Let's check TransGuide right now. Very sparse traffic out there at US 90 and State Highway 211. No other incidents popping up right now. We'll keep an eye out for you.
And with the situation, you may be asking yourself, what can I do to help the situation in Ukraine? And there are several answers to the question. There are a number of organizations accepting donations.
12 on your side's Marilyn Mort shows us what else thousands are doing because they went to make an immediate and personal impact.
As Russian rockets pound Ukraine and millions flee their homes and country, Melody Gakin just booked a 5-night stay in the war zone, but she's not going.
This is a way I felt like I could put cash in someone's pocket.
She logged on to Airbnb and was careful, she said, to search for a private individual host in Ukraine and not a corporation. She booked with a man named Boris in Kyiv.
I followed up with an email to him and asked him to please donate those 5 nights to a refugee that might need a place to stay or that if they didn't feel comfortable doing that, that they were welcome to keep the money and use it for their family.
It's grassroots generosity that's catching fire across social media and the world as a way to gift money fast and personally. Airbnb's co-founder tweeted, in 48 hours, 61,000 nights have been booked in Ukraine, $1.9 million going to hosts in need.
I can just imagine, how it is, how they're living there and how afraid they are. And really, I paid $22 a night, which is nothing. I would spend that money going out to lunch.
Melody's host responded with a simple thank you and a heart. Airbnb is waiving fees for all bookings in Ukraine, so the hosts get all of the money. Also, on its nonprofit side, it is helping people around the world host refugees. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
9:37, you're watching GMSA at 9.
The Spurs making it happen on the court against the Lakers. A recap of last night's game. Welcome back. It's 9:40. In your morning consumer headlines, new data shows side effects from the mRNA COVID-19 vaccine are mostly mild and only last a few days. Researchers with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention examined more than 300,000 cases from the adverse vaccine reporting system. They found 92% of cases were mild, nearly 7% were serious. The most common serious side effect was difficulty breathing, fever, fatigue, and headache.
Apple just hours away from their first product launch of the year. It's expected to announce a new low-cost iPhone SE, possibly with 5G. An updated iPad Air may be unveiled with the latest chip. There may also be a new color, including a new dark green iPhone 13.
Uber is raising its guidance for the first quarter, saying the ride-hailing business is bouncing back quickly from a lull induced by the Omicron variant. Uber's delivery business also seeing new growth.
New study shows almost everyone born between 1961 and 1980 was exposed to dangerous levels of lead. According to the study, about 170 million people in the U.S. had dangerous levels of lead in their blood during their early childhood years. The study's authors blame leaded gasoline. Remember that? It was commonly used to fuel all our cars and trucks in the 60s and 70s. All told, about 53% of the total population had high levels of lead in their blood as children. Well, now to country music's biggest night. The Academy of Country Music Awards took over Las Vegas with some star-studded performances.
And a spectacular tribute to Dolly Parton. ABC's Will Reeve has all the highlights.
I want us to send our love and hope to our brothers and sisters in Ukraine.
The one and only Dolly Parton kicking things off with a poignant message at the Academy of Country Music Awards, which she co-hosted with Jimmy Allen and Gabby Barrett.
Now they are the real deal, and you know how I hate anything fake.
Kelly Clarkson brought down the house with this tribute to her idol, belting out the classic Dolly wrote in 1973.
I know that Whitney is smiling down on us tonight.
Just 1 year after being banned from the show, Morgan Wallen brought home Album of the Year for Dangerous, the double album. The album was released just weeks before video leaked of Wallen using a racial slur. In the fallout, his music was pulled from radio rotation and his record contract was suspended.
I have to address my fans personally and directly. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And the biggest award of the night, Entertainer of the Year, went to
Miranda Lambert.
Yeah, and that was Will Reeve reporting.
Thank you for remembering. Okay, Sarah Spivey is here.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
How are things going over there today?
I'm cold, y'all.
It is cold in this building.
Well, not only in this building, but
outside.
Also mainly outside. So chilly out there. Temperatures are in the 40s, and we have got some areas of sprinkles outside, some light rain and some mist in areas around San Antonio, but it is not amounting to anything as far as the rain gauge goes. So we're really just seeing very light rain that you may have to turn your windshield wipers on every now and then, deal with some road spray. You can see on the radar here that we've got some of those very, very light rain showers pushing up to the north and to the east. In fact, I had to turn up the intensity of the radar just so that we could see it on the radar. A little bit more activity out to the east toward Gonzales. with some light rain showers, and even in eastern Lavaca County getting some light rain there as well. Earlier this morning, though, before dawn, we did have some thunderstorms that moved through Wilson County, Gonzales County, Lavaca County, and that produced a decent amount of rain, nearly an inch of rain near Hallettsville, and we saw more than half an inch of rain in parts of Gonzales County and almost 3/4 of an inch of rain in eastern Wilson County. But around San Antonio, again, only about 1/100th of an inch of rainfall or so. And it has been a while since we have seen decent measurable rain. So how long has it been in San Antonio since we've seen 1/4 of an inch of rainfall? 33 days. Even worse, out west toward Del Rio, it has been 125 days since Del Rio saw more than 1/4 of an inch of rain in a 24-hour period. Yeah, not great, and that's why those areas out west are under extreme drought, and the rain that fell today really did not help out with the drought at all. Outside right now, it is 44 degrees, and winds are from the north at 10, so it feels like it's 39. And you can see here that all of us are dealing with cloud cover this morning, in addition to the areas of fine mist and sprinkles. 41 in Kerrville, 47 in Hondo, 46 in Castroville, 42 in New Braunfels, 43 GMSA Randolph, 42 in Pleasanton, and a wider view here, it's 51 in Del Rio. Notice that there is a clearing line in Valverde County, and that's going to try to push to the east today. We'll be seeing light sprinkles through about lunch here in San Antonio, and all that rain will be moving off to the east. That clearing line is going to make for a sunny afternoon for folks west of Bandera, Kerrville, Hondo, and Uvalde, and then that line is going to try to make it to San Antonio. We may end up seeing a sliver of sun on the horizon by about sunset. But because there's going to be a difference between who gets sun and who gets clouds today, temperatures will vary widely. Around San Antonio, only near 50 degrees. Up into the hill country, upper 50s, and then out west toward Del Rio, where they'll have more sunshine, a temperature closer to 70 this afternoon. So very different depending on where you live. All right, a lot of healthy rain for East Texas this morning, and even some light wintry precipitation up near Dallas-Fort Worth. Behind that precipitation, it's cold across not only the U.S., but some deep cold air is developing in Canada. This is going to be our next cold front that moves through Friday. But until then, we have some nice days mixed in there. 64 tomorrow and sunny, 74 on Thursday and sunny, but then that front will be dropping temperatures into the 40s with wind chills in the 20s and 30s because of wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour. And by Saturday and Sunday mornings, we're going to have a light freeze, and that is actually pretty exceptional for this time of year. We have a risk for temperature sensitive plants, so if you've done any early gardening, you're going to want to consider covering up those plants. This would be the latest freeze we would have since 2006. Our average freeze is February 24th. At least the sun will come out on the weekend and it'll be pleasant in the afternoon. So up and down that temperature roller coaster we go. Hang on, keep that KSAT Weather Authority app handy. We'll continue to update you.
Thank you, Sarah. Temperature roller coaster, that's appropriate. And Spurs head coach Greg Popovich has now tied the record for all-time wins by an NBA head coach.
The 5-time NBA champion coach now sits at 1,335 wins. Will become the all-time winningest with one more win. Max Massey joins us here in the studio. And Max, we were talking about it yesterday, how unlikely it seemed that we could get a win against the Lakers and tie it up. What we didn't know at this time yesterday, was that LeBron was going to sit this one out.
We joked about it.
So LeBron was kind of in incognito mode, eating popcorn on the side. We're going to show a video of him in just a little bit. Here's the thing. Lonnie Walker also didn't play, but we did get some great points, some great minutes from new additions. Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and of course the Rook, Josh Primo. He showed out and he looked good. So let's roll the highlights. Let's see what we got going. There he is, Mr. Incognito. Just sitting there eating popcorn like any good visitor does. And there he is. Now tied for the record. All right, here we go. Keldon Johnson, big miss. You know what? We're going to shoot the ball, Keldon. And then here's another one. Doug McDermott, another new addition. Miss. Okay. Not a great start. The first quarter was rough and, Pop clearly a little frustrated. But this is the Spurs that we know and love. Defense to offense, the all-star DeJounte Murray, easy layup against a deflated and depleted Lakers team. Here we go, though. Russell Westbrook did play, not the Russell Westbrook of old. Austin Reeves, an unknown guy, up and under. So it was a competitive game, a lot of back and forth. DeJounte up against the 55-year-old Carmelo Anthony. He couldn't keep up with him and, could not beat the buzzer. So we move on to the second half. All right, here we go. DeJounte, ball in his hand, moving down the floor, and you can't stop him. He finished with 26 points, 8 assists, 10 boards, and 3 steals. And we go the Rook up and, so close. But here he is, Jakob Poeltl, one of the top-tier players on the team. And the Spurs get the huge win, taking down the Lakers. And like I said, guys, Josh Richardson, 18 points, Romeo Langford, and then Josh Primo. We heard from Josh right after the game.
It's great to be, this is a tiny part of Coach Pop's record-setting win. And hopefully, we can go get the record in the next game and, keep it going, keep pushing it.
All right, we're going to talk about the next game in just a little bit. But first, a lot of people asking what is the Spurs going to do this season. So right now, as the records stand, they're in the 12th seed. You got to be top 10 to even fight to make it into the playoff. And then here we go, guys. This could be the game that Pop does it, becomes the most winningest coach of all time, which is a fun word to say, winningest. Yes. Tomorrow, taking on the Raptors. Oh, there we go. There's the standings. So they got a little bit to move up. Remember, because, the whole bubble and pandemic, you can be top 10 and then fight your way into the playoff. It's almost like a playoff to make the playoff. The Lakers sitting at 9 right now. Like I said, didn't have LeBron or AD, but the Spurs do look good, and Coach Pop will have the chance to break the record here at home, which would be awesome, taking on the Toronto Raptors tomorrow night. And what makes it so remarkable is that Coach Pop has been able to reach this milestone with the same team 26 years. And a little breaking news, I know a producer's going to be like, can you stop talking? Tight end Dalton Schultz just got the franchise tag for the Cowboys. I think right now the Cowboys are about $20 million over the salary cap. We've been talking about all the drama. What are they going to do? Are they going to restructure contracts? What's going to happen to Amari Cooper? Dalton Schultz, a tight end who has done really well this year. He will be back for at least another season with the Cowboys.
Well, look at it this way. Back to the Spurs for 1 second. If Pop is able to do it versus the Raptors, you're going to be a very lucky lady.
I hope so.
And hopefully be there to watch it, right? You're going to that game, and you're also going to the...
On Friday.
Is that Pacers?
The Jazz.
Jazz, that's right.
I want to be Stephanie Cerna going to all the Spurs games.
Right?
That's awesome.
It's spring break.
That's true.
Yeah.
Max, thank you for the recap.
Yes, thank you.
9:52, about 44 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Never too early to talk about Fiesta, right?
And it's actually not that early this year.
Yeah, and coming up on right now on KSAT.com, a list of all the events that KSAT is going to broadcast, and there are at least 9 of them.
Yeah, we're very excited about this.
Yeah.
This is so. Of course, it's going to kick off with Fiesta. That's at Hemisphere. That'll be on March 31st.
The Texas Cavaliers River Parade on April 4th.
Don't forget about the SA Live River Parade after party. That's the same day, but after.
Battle of Flowers Band Festival on April 7th.
Yes, and then we are super excited about this one, the Battle of Flowers Parade. That's going to be on Friday, April 8th.
Very excited. We will be there live. King William Fair Parade is happening on April 9th.
And Battle of Flowers Band Festival there on April 9th at 2 p.m.
Same night, Fiesta Flambeau.
And then Fiesta Flambeau Night Parade, yes, on April 9th as well. You can find all this information on KSAT.com.
We're going to be very, very busy,
yes.
and we love it.
Medal giveaways, too.
There you go.
Excited about that.
I still never got one of Steph's medals.
Oh, come on.
I have a medal.